Somebody called Brutus Clay's mama because that's right, Brutus Clay is back. Did not expect that at all. But until then, you know what's coming. That's right, roll my intro. Alright, of course, Raw just went off the air, and I'm in here for my Raw review for you guys, and as well the Raw post show just went off the air as well, and that is actually going to be the last post show probably for a while. I'm not really too sure if Glitter S&D is going to bring back the Raw post show. We'll have to wait and see what's going to happen with that, but of course it ended up being another great show, and we will be back for the Royal Rumble pay-per-view pre-show, so you guys cannot miss that. And that will be starting a little bit earlier than normal at 2:45, so you guys cannot miss that. And of course, with this, I will be talking about Raw and giving my little brief thoughts on what I liked and what I didn't like about the show, and as we head into the Royal Rumble. Alright, so first thing with this, I am going to state that Brutus Clay, definitely, I was not expecting that whatsoever, with Brutus Clay coming out dancing and all that, and really just having a 360 with this gimmick. I thought he was going to come back to the gimmick that he had when he was manager with Alberto Del Rio, so I'm not really too sure if he's going to be actually dancing like this, and this is going to be his new gimmick for right now, or if this is going to be a one-time deal. But, you know, we'll wait and see how this is going to go, and definitely, wow, was not expecting that at all. And somebody please, that's what I call Brutus Clay's mama. But yeah, as far as the rest of Raw goes, I thought it was a pretty damn good show, and as we slowly get closer into the Royal Rumble, every day it gets some newsworthy things going into the show, so I made out for a pretty damn good show nonetheless. Alright, so we move along into the first promo of the night, and that's where we have Kane coming out cutting a promo, and still really trying to get John Cena under his skin and everything like that, and continuing this build going into the rivalry. And with this one, I have been enjoying their feud, and hopefully we will get to see a one-on-one match eventually between John Cena and Kane. And eventually John Cena does come out, and we get to see a brawl between the two, which I thought was good. So definitely, so far I have been enjoying this. And what are you guys' thoughts on what's going to happen next between John Cena and Kane? And that's basically it when it comes to the first promo of the night. Alright, so we move along into the first matchup of the night, which was a tag team match. Of course, we had Sheamus and Santino taking on Wade Barrett and as well Jinder Mahal. Now, instead of Jinder Mahal, I thought Drew McIntyre was going to be the tag team partner for the night anyway with Wade Barrett, but that didn't happen. But overall, I thought it was a pretty good match, and in the end, that's right, with this one, Sheamus and Santino ended up getting the win overall. So nothing really too much to say about this match, but it was pretty good for what it was worth. Alright, so after that we do get to see who would be next in line to be inducted into the Hall of Fame for this year. And we also got to see a superstar and as well an actual group be inducted, and that's why we did get to see Edge and as well the Four Horsemen also getting inducted for this year's Hall of Fame. And so far it is a good lineup as of right now for the Hall of Fame, so definitely cannot wait. Both of them with Edge and as well the Four Horsemen definitely deserve a spot into the Hall of Fame. So I'm not really too sure if Ric Flair is going to actually show up in that, since he really being a part of TNA and helping out with Gunner and everything. So it's kind of hard to tell at this point if Ric Flair is going to actually make an appearance, and I'm sure Christian will be able to make an appearance, and I think it would be only right to have my boy Christian induct, that's right, the Rated R Superstar, into the Hall of Fame. So I think that would be a great moment seeing the both of them going into the Hall of Fame, and then since they really both started their careers together, so I think that only makes sense to have Christian and Edge be together in the Hall of Fame. And whether that Christian is going to come back as a face or not, that's really up in the air at this point. So I think that's really cool to have Edge and as well the Four Horsemen be the two people, well, in the way groups, to see who's going to be in the class of 2012, so I thought that was great there. After that, we did have a match, which was champion versus champion. This one, we had Daniel Bryan taking out Kofi Kingston. Now, with this one, I thought it was a good match, but to me, honestly, I thought it should have lasted a little bit longer than what it should, but maybe we'll get a rematch sometime down the road. But overall, it was good for what it was worth, and after that, we did get to see that altercation between the Big Show and as well Daniel Bryan. So it looks like as of right now, there's going to be really a slow heel turn for Daniel Bryan, but I will get to talk about that, of course, later on this week for In the Hot Seat, so you guys cannot miss this week's episode for In the Hot Seat, of course. So I got a great show lineup, of course, as always, for In the Hot Seat, so definitely be on the lookout for that when I upload it this Wednesday. Alright, so next match, of course, we had CM Punk taking on Jack Swagger, and this one was a non-title matchup, and I thought it was a good match between the two. Now, with this one, we did have a stipulation in this one, and if Jack Swagger lost, with this one going into the Royal Rumble, Jack Swagger and Vicky Guerrero will be banned from ringside during the Dolph Ziggler and CM Punk match, which should be a good match, and I'm looking forward for that one as well, going into the Royal Rumble. But, you know, as far with CM Punk and Jack Swagger, I thought it was a good match for what it was worth. That one was supposed to be the main event between John Cena and Dolph Ziggler, which was going pretty well for what it was worth, and we ended things where we started things off with Kane and John Cena really just having the ball to the outside, and they're both really continuing and adding to their feud. So really we didn't have anyone going into John Cena and Dolph Ziggler basically having a count out or whatever the hell it was, but it was going pretty well for what it was worth. I wish it would have lasted a little longer, but hey, it is what it is, and that's basically what happened with that. And really just Kane choking out John Cena once again and adding more going into this feud. So that's basically it when it comes to close on Raw and overall with Raw. So let me know what you guys' thoughts are. What happened with Raw going into the Royal Rumble and everything like that. And that about does it for this week for my brief thoughts on Raw. And I thank each and every one of you guys for making it to the Raw post show. Like I mentioned, not too sure what's going to happen next with the Raw post show. We might bring it back, who knows. But definitely, hopefully, you guys can be a part of the Royal Rumble pay-per-view pre-show, of course. That will be happening, like I mentioned, at 2:45. So I will still be reminding you guys that. And definitely, of course, do not miss In the Hot Seat for this week. Like I mentioned, got a great show, as always, planned for you guys. So definitely, you cannot miss that. And that about does it for me. Until then, peace.